What is the longest possible game of Valorant? It's probably a question many of you have asked, but like me, don't actually have an answer. Sure, we've had those games that went into double, triple, and even quadruple overtime, but what if I told you that it could go on for much, much longer? Join me today in finding out the longest possible game of Valorant. Obviously, we're gonna get into some crazy overtimes, but how long can a game of Valorant last in regulation? If we dissect a single round, we can see that there's a 30-second buy phase, with the exception of the first buy phase, which is actually 45 seconds long. Then there's a minute and 40 or 100 seconds of round time, an additional 45 seconds from spike plant to detonation, and finally a 7-second post-round phase. Before going to overtime, the longest game of regulation will last 24 rounds. That's 12 rounds on each side. So let's do the math. 23 rounds of 30-second buy phases, then add the initial buy phase round of 45 seconds, add the 24 rounds of 145-second round times, and 24 rounds with a 7-second post-round phase. That's a lot of numbers, but that totals up to a grand total of roughly 4,383 seconds, or 73-ish minutes. I say roughly because we have to account for the last millisecond plants. All in all, this is just a theory. It's very unlikely that you'll play maxed out rounds 24 times in a row down to the millisecond. So let's take a look at some long games that actually happened. For a while, the longest recorded Valorant game took place last year during the VCT Stage 3 Challengers match between TSM and GenG. On the second map, Split, both TSM and GenG fought till octuple overtime. That's 8 overtimes.
Go again, 20 to 20. I've never seen those numbers there in my life. And
we played 40 rounds of Valorant!
Tied at 20 to 20, RIOT actually had to create a new lobby in hopes that the game wouldn't crash. Finally, at 23 to 21, TSM came out victorious. That's a whopping 44 rounds of Valorant. If you thought that was crazy, there's a longer game that's been recorded in this Reddit post by user Dashalo on September 18th, 2021. His game went into a 50-round overtime when it finally ended at 24 to 26. When the bottom fragger's at 30 kills, you know it's been a close game. As you can see in the screenshot, his game lasted an hour and 24 minutes, but the longest game ever recorded is even longer than Dashalo's game, but not by much. Released by RIOT Games themselves, the longest recorded game was an hour and 28 minutes on Ascent, where the game went to 58 rounds. Unfortunately, that was released way back in 2020, and I haven't been able to find anything more recent, so I took it upon myself to see how long we can prolong a single game of Valorant. So I hopped into a custom lobby with my buddy, set the settings to a traditional game of ranked, and buckled in for the longest, most boring, and repetitive experience of my life. After a while, we reached round 44, the same amount of rounds as the TSM and GenG game. As I was thinking about it, my friend said something that made my heart sink.
Dude, why is my computer frozen? No, I was gonna say I can restart and rejoin, but it's gonna be over by then. Dude, why?
Defenders win!
I think RIOT was onto something. After that minor setback, we decided to start the game up again, and start from zero. Now theoretically, as long as nobody votes to draw, this could go on forever. So how do I know when to stop? Do I keep going? I really didn't think this through. After a while, we reached round 100. 50 rounds to 50 rounds. We were getting tired, but we had to keep going. Thankfully, there weren't any more setbacks and the monotonous cycle continued, all the way to round 198. At 99 to 99, tensions were high. Was the game going to crash at triple-digit rounds? Is there a hidden achievement? Will he hit the 360 no-scope? Well, there it is. 200 total rounds played. And honestly, it felt like we could have kept going because theoretically, that would be the case. The game will never end until someone votes for a draw or the other wins by 2. Will we ever see a game that reaches 200 rounds of play? I doubt it. But I am curious to know how long 200 rounds would be if we played every round out to the last millisecond. If we adjust our math from earlier to fit in more with overtime settings, 200 rounds of maxed out play would equate to roughly 32,032 seconds, or 533 minutes, or nearly 9 whole hours of playing Valorant. Crazy. And that wraps it up for this video. Comment below what your longest game of Valorant was. As always, thanks for taking the time to watch, and I'll see you in the next one.